Welcome into the video, welcome into the channel. Hope everybody's doing well out there. To set the table here, what you're looking at is my 77-inch LG G4. This is my primary gaming display here in the game room. Connected to that is my Sony PlayStation 5 Pro. I had been seeing these rumors and then some confirmations that Sony was pushing out a new PS5 update, and it wasn't exclusive to the Pro or anything. But the reason why I was really looking forward to seeing the update pop up on mine is because apparently this update corrects a big issue that had been happening with both the PS5 and the PS5 Pro, and it is something that I have encountered during my gaming experience. I had to change my background on my PS5 to my absolute favorite game to play right now, and I know I'm about 3 years too late on this. There is so much to do in that game. And I guess I mentioned all that because it is my absolute favorite game to play right now, so I just had to change my PS5 background to this. But Sony, can we get an upgrade on the resolution for these dynamic backgrounds? I mean, this is piss poor quality. Okay, if I'm just gonna be frank, this is terrible quality, almost to the point where I just wanna turn this off and go back to a static image. But anyway, before I dive into the weird thing going on with the update for this PS5 Pro, I want to do a quick update on something else in this video. And because this video is going to include a couple of extra subjects besides the PS5 Pro update, I'm going to leave timestamps so you could skip straight to the PS5 Pro update part of this video if that's what you're here for. But for those of you that are subscribers to the channel, you also know that I've encountered a big issue with my G4 and this PS5 Pro in that in my last video, I had something happen to me that has never happened to any of my gaming displays ever. Like, this was so mind-blowing. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And it had everything to do with this game dashboard here on the LG G4. And if you're somebody who's like new to OLEDs or you're not familiar with LGs, they've had a variation of this game dashboard or this game optimizer here going back to, I believe, 2020. They may have had this on the C10, but I know for sure they have it on the C1. So it's been around for a while, and what I encountered, well, you're just gonna have to go watch the video, all right? I'll leave a link, I'll card it in or link it in somewhere here. But check this out. This is looking good, right? Little update for you. Ever since that video, and I kind of went through it and, you know, fixed things, I've had zero problems. No problems at all, so I'm happy to report things seem to be on the up and up when it comes to that big issue when it came to gaming here on the G4. All right, now I'm at the part of the video where I'm going to talk about what this video's topic really was about, which is the PS5 update. But the weird thing is that when Sony pushes out an update, I have never had to do what I'm getting ready to show you, which is to manually install it. It always pops up automatically, puts itself in a queue. So let's go into settings and see what's going on. Now I'm going to go to settings. We're going to head down to system software, and console information. What I see here is system software. There's this big ass long convoluted version number, and right below it, it says update available, okay? Now, when I go to system software update and settings, it says update available. Why wasn't this pushed automatically to my console? Especially if this is a real update that actually is like really beneficial outside of like maybe security parameters, okay? Typically these PS5 updates are, you know, general maintenance, fixing a bug, or mainly for security, updating for security. You know, I almost don't give a about installing those. I mean, I know security is important, but I mean, it's not adding any new features, it's nothing fun, so I really don't even care. And they install themselves, like I mentioned, so if it shows up, great. But this is one that I really wanted to install and test out to see if I notice a difference, especially having spent the last couple of weeks with God of War Ragnarok, okay? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, the issue at hand here was that it was discovered, I don't know, maybe a week or two ago at the time of filming this video, that certain games on the PS5 and the PS5 Pro, when utilizing VRR, if you had it set up in a format of 120 Hertz VRR with unlocked frame rates for that game, if it supported it, after a sustained amount of time playing, you would start to notice VRR stutter. You'd notice stuttering issues. I think I noticed this along the way playing God of War, but I wasn't quite sure what was going on. I really didn't know what I was looking at, and now it makes total sense. So I'm excited to install this update because apparently this software update corrects that issue. So I'm going to install the update, and then I'm going to go back into God of War and kind of do some testing on this as I continue to play through it. And I'm going to do an update video letting you know if I really notice a difference or not. So I'm going to go ahead and click Update Software. It says update using internet or via USB drive. I have the internet. We're in 2025. Let's go ahead and try that and see what happens. And this is normally what you see. Some kind of QR code pop up where you can look at the details, which by the way, I hate this. You know, Sony, I don't know if this is just a way for you to drive additional traffic to this website for ad revenue somewhere. I don't know what the purpose is. I like the fact that when you would go to install an update, you could just click and see the details right here on the screen. This is ridiculous. But anyway, let's go ahead and click update and see if it installs the way it normally does. So far, it looks like it. The update file is 1.3 gig, so the update file is going pretty fast here, so I don't even need to cut away, which is nice. But guys, this is probably the first PS5 update I've truly been excited about in a year. You know, like before the PS5 Pro came out, just when I was on my base PS5, I still think it's weird that this update wasn't automatically pushed and installed. Why is that? You know, especially if it's an update correcting a problem. Okay, it says after preparation is complete, your PS5 will automatically restart and the update file will be installed. Okay, almost there. There we go. Please wait. While I'm waiting, Sony, please update the resolution on the dynamic backgrounds. First of all, you were years behind in having that sort of customization ability. I mean, the PS5 life cycle now is going back to November of 2020, I believe, and we're just now getting the ability to put dynamic backgrounds. They look like garbage, you know? I feel like you shouldn't have even done that unless you really were able to put quality images back there. You know, you allege that the home screen is 4K 60. All right, so you see it's restarting here. It went to my, whatever you call this, screensaver for the LG. And you get some party paintings to look at when you have no signal on the G4. Dun 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 dun. I like that, the way it comes in that way. There we go. System software update is complete. So, aside from, let me turn on my controller again. Aside from having to go in and manually install this update, the update process was the exact same. You know, I mean, nothing was strange about it. So, leave me some comments below. Have you ever had to manually go and install an update? I feel like, as infrequent as Sony does updates, I feel like the majority of you probably wouldn't even know or care to look for an update to manually install it. If you're new to my channel, a lot of the content on this channel has to do with LG displays and software updates for LG. And they are so frequent with their updates that you almost don't even have time to go look for them, right? So you're getting a new update, depending on how new your display is, you're getting a new update on your LG display every, say, 4 to 7 weeks, somewhere in there. You know, if you have a display that's about 3 years old, you're probably closer to that 7 weeks. And if you have one that's in the current year, you're probably getting one closer to 4, maybe 3. And Sony, even on their displays, I've owned Sony displays for years. They are so infrequent with their updates that, again, you wouldn't even know to look, which is why having it automatically put it on there is a nice feature. Although it didn't do it this time. Anyway, this video has included a lot of things. I've talked for so long in this video that the controller battery went from green to yellow. Next up from here, I'm gonna jump back into some God of War and do some testing. And I'm actually gonna save that for a separate video because this one's ran a lot longer than I meant for it to. Think of this video as an alert to there's a new PS5 system software update available. And I think this update has actually been available since at least a week or two ago. So think of this as an alert that there is one. Leave me some comments below. If you haven't seen an update automatically come to your PS5 or PS5 Pro, go in and manually check for one and let me know down in the comments if you see this same update. I'll probably put the firmware version number somewhere on the screen because Sony's PS5 update firmware version numbers are so ridiculously long that I'm not even going to try to say it verbally to you. I'm just going to put it on the screen or in the video title or something. But anyway, if you did enjoy the video, you found it entertaining, or you just are a nice person and want to help support my channel, be sure to hit the like button. It really helps me out. And like I mentioned in this video along the way, I do a lot of things like software update videos for displays, and you could see here consoles. If you want to stay up to date and know exactly when an update comes out, or maybe an update process, I had a problem and you should avoid the update, things like that, if that matters to you, hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell so you see my video posts exactly when they happen. But with all that being said, until the next one.